The price of basic foodstuffs can become a major political issue, and currently it's Kenyans who are bracing themselves for a hike in the price of maize flour, which is used to make the country's staple food ugali. Well, that's after government subsidies on the flour ended just over a week ago. Well, farmers have been accused of stockpiling in anticipation of a price increase. Well, Victor Kanani reports from Kajiado, just outside of Nairobi.
Milling machines rumble at the Kajiado millers just outside Nairobi, grinding maize into flour as workers are busy packaging the flour used to make ugali, Kenya's staple food. For Osman Hamoud, the owner of this business, things are not as rosy as they might seem. He and other millers had been given subsidized maize by the government to mill in order to reduce the cost of the precious commodity under the government maize subsidy program. But that has since stopped after the government announced it had scrapped off the subsidy program.
Now this is only one or 2 weeks after we are finished with subsidy, and it will continue going up. And you know, the harvest time of Kenyan farmers around North Rift is around July. So we are in January. So you can tell when you're in April, May, what can be happening.
The maize flour subsidy program implemented in May 2017 aimed to cushion citizens from high food prices, especially maize flour that is a staple food in the country. Subsequently, the price of a 2-kilogram packet of flour dropped by 50%. The effect of the scrapping off of the subsidy program is already being felt elsewhere. Maize flour is used to make ugali, one of Kenya's favorite and main dishes. And now they'll have to dig deeper into their pockets if they are to enjoy this delicacy. Peter Chalo, a food vendor at a hotel in Kajiado, says he is already incurring losses due to the scrapping off of the subsidy.
We have been giving the customers the portions. We have not changed the portions. And if at all we change the portions, the customers may disappear or they start complaining. So what will happen? We are going at a loss. And we are incurring our losses simply because we have no other choices. The price of the Unga has gone up, but the same portion we are giving the customers is the same portion we are giving. That gives us a loss.
Many parts of Kenya experienced drought last year. That, coupled with an armyworm infestation on maize plantations and increased maize flour prices, will make the flour even more scarce. Victor Kanani, BBC, Kajiado, Kenya.
Now from our studio in Nairobi is Gabrielle Rugalema, the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization's representative in Kenya. Thank you for joining us here on Focus on Africa. First off, why has the government decided to stop this subsidy system?
Thank you, Lukwesa. The government has stopped the subsidy system because remember what your presenter said. This was a temporary measure instituted in order to stabilize maize prices because the price was spiking so much at the beginning of last year because of the drought, and also to make sure that many Kenyans didn't go through last year with a very high degree of food insecurity. So everybody knew that this was a temporary measure and that one day it was going to come to an end. And so it ended on the 31st of December. Well, I would say it did what it was instituted to do. It stabilized the maize prices throughout the rest of last year. And of course, we didn't have starvation in Kenya.
Well, Gabrielle, there is a saying that a hungry nation is an angry nation. What can the government do to calm down those protests? Because people are upset. And like you said, these subsidies were always going to stop. But how can they help things?
I think, first of all, is to reassure people that there is enough maize in the system, at least in the short term, to make sure that nobody is going to starve. I think the harvests are still coming in the South Rift and other parts of the country. So we can talk of widespread maize shortage, at least not yet. Okay. The second measure is, of course, to make sure that the prices don't spike as they spiked last year. So it could include some other measures like encouraging of exports from other maize-producing areas in the region.
There is talk also of hoarding taking place by farmers and certain cartels as well. Is the government looking into this? Can they actually do anything about it?
There is quite a limited degree of what government can do. If people decide to hoard, I think they hoard. The psychology of the market at the moment is that, first of all, the subsidy has ended. So someone somewhere expects that the prices are going to rise anyway. And also because of the poor rains during the short rain season that just ended, and the fall armyworm, it is expected that the production wasn't as high as it should be. So people are expecting that there is going to be shortage. That could be the psychology and the logic of hoarding. But otherwise, I don't expect that we have a huge, huge problem like we did in December, January of 2016 and 2017.
Gabrielle Rugalema, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much. Thank you.